introduce to you today Sinn Féin Senator Mr Pearse Doherty.
Cora, we gather here today, let there be no doubt about it, because we stand for the removal of partition, because we stand for the end of British jurisdiction in our country, and because we stand for the reunification of our nation. Agus tá muid bailíonn seo fásta le caimne ar na fear agus ar na mré a has an fád agus a bhar buas ar son saoirse na hÉireann, thar bíonta fáda de strahailt agus de cogu. This year marks the 94th anniversary of the Easter Rising. Easter week marked the moment when Irish nationalists, Republicans, workers, language activists, women and men came together and demanded freedom for Ireland. The political conditions in Ireland over many decades since 1916 demanded that Irish Republicans wage war when war was necessary. But Republicans always sought peaceful political alternatives to war. This year also marks the 87th anniversary of the execution of the Drumbo martyrs. These four brave IRA soldiers were four of the first victims of partition rule in our country. They were 4 out of 77 Republican prisoners of war that were executed by Free State forces during the Civil War. These young volunteers saw their country divided by the British government, and they fought bravely for Irish freedom. They saw this historic province of Ulster cut to pieces. They saw Derry, Tyrone and Fermanagh divided from Donegal, its natural hinterland. But worse than that, they saw a treaty signed by Irish representatives in London which agreed to the partition of our country. But they rejected this treaty and they stood by the Irish Republic. They found welcome here in Donegal among the Republicans of this county before their capture and their execution at Drumbo, not far from here, on the 14th of March 1923. Sean Larkin came to this county from across the border from his home county of Derry. He was joined by his comrades from Kerry, Charlie Daly, Daniel Enright and Timothy O'Sullivan, and they came north to stand with the people of the north during the reign of terror imposed on them. And I heard you how tragic it was for these IRA volunteers from Derry and Kerry, volunteers who symbolised the Irish unity, the unity of Ireland. How tragic it was that they should die at the hands of an Irish government. Today we remember them with pride. We remember with equal pride the fallen County Donegal and West Tyrone IRA volunteers of the recent phases of the struggle for Irish freedom, and we extend our continuing sympathy and solidarity to their families. We also remember all Republicans who have died and gave service in the recent phases of the long struggle for national self-determination. Currently there are 355 Republican activists on the Roll of Honour. Most of them were volunteers in the Irish Republican Army who died on active service. We grieve for them today, and we think of their families at this time. The progress of recent years has meant that the struggle for Irish freedom has entered a new phase. A phase where peaceful means provides the way forward. But the sacrifices of our comrades in the past, those who have suffered death or injury or imprisonment, have ensured that there can never be a return to the one-party orange state, to the second-class citizenship, to British militarisation or to the institutional sectarianism of the past. But there is still a significant way to go before we achieve our Republican goals. British jurisdiction in Ireland must end. But British jurisdiction in Ireland will only end by the combined will and the combined efforts of all of the Irish people. Today, 94 years later, we echo the call for freedom of the men and women of 1916. The proclamation of the Irish Republic recited at commemorations right across this country today, is not just simply an historical document. It is a statement of enduring political ideals and current demands by the Irish people. It is a call to action, and never before has those political demands been more relevant than today. Can Síl in the Éireann Airthia Marial ar an Croce Síhanna agus Marial ar Ser Abri Poblatanai. The peace process of Perge has transformed politics in Ireland. The Orange State as we know it is now gone. The Union is challenged daily as an increasingly confident nationalist community takes equal ownership of every sphere of public, political and institutional life in the North. There is no going back to the bad old days of sectarian domination. There is no going back to the bad old days of second-class citizenship. And neither can there be a return to armed conflict. Akarje, the war is over, but the struggle continues. Republicans have chartered a democratic pathway to Irish freedom, one that is marked with historic challenges and historic opportunities. And our journey will call for courage, creativity and discipline, but these are qualities that Republicans have in abundance. Over the past 12 years, we have built on the foundations of the Good Friday Agreement, and it is in this context that policing and justice powers will be transferred away from England and into Irish hands on April the 12th. It is in this context that Irish language rights are being advanced, society has been demilitarised, and that second-class citizenship has gone. And Sinn Féin has set the pace for all of these advances. We are the party with a strategy for the achievement of Irish unity. Other parties, other nationalist parties on this island may claim so. But I would say to those, and in particular the Irish government, that they need to move beyond the rhetoric, that they need to live up to their responsibilities, and they need to plan now for the orderly transition towards a united Ireland. On our journey towards a united, independent Ireland, Republicans seek to make peace with our unionist fellow countrymen and countrywomen. The new Ireland we seek is one in which unionist section of our people must feel secure. The fulfilment of the vision of 1916 will be the peaceful coming together of the orange and green. And unionists must be able to find their place in a new Ireland. It needs to be their united Ireland too.